For some reason, for some reason, YouTube keeps letting me come on here. So as long as they keep, as long as they keep letting me come on here, I'm gonna keep coming on here. I'm gonna keep coming on here. I'm gonna make me a little space. Huh? I'm gonna get a little comfy. I don't know why I'm picking up the TV remote, but get me a little comfy. Make myself at home here, baby. Start rearranging the furniture and shit. You ever invited someone over that just wants to rearrange your furniture though? Y'all ever do that? I always feel like it's like I always feel like it's like, dude, this is my fucking house. What the fuck are you doing here? What are you doing? You're over here moving the fucking couch. You're moving my bed. Nah, I never invited someone over like that. I just feel like that's how it would go with me. I'd just instantly go into like I'm defending my property mode. Like, shit, this is my private property here. Like, hell, if you ask, like, if you're like, hey, what if we did this and move this over here and move that over there? That's fine. You come in and start moving my furniture, dog. If I ain't got nothing to lose, you might get your ass whooped. I'm liable. I'm, I'm liable. But yeah, it's funny. Uh, I've yeah, I've been the one to ask, like, hey, what if we move? What if we rearrange this? Especially in like my brother's gym, when I was working out in my brother's gym a lot. We wanted to upgrade some equipment pretty bad, and he's got a small home gym. So do I. But I was just trying to see if there was a way we could rearrange it to carve out space for another piece of equipment. But being in situations like that has taught me how to utilize space so well, because sometimes we don't think about it, right? Nobody thinks about, like, you can make more closet space. You can make more closet space. Some people fill up their closet shelf with hangers, but you can hang hangers off of hangers, right? Just something that people overlook. Sometimes you can hang hangers off of hangers. There's really no There's not an excuse in our daily life to be running out of space. Shit like that. Like, that's not gonna happen. We have plenty of space. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, Kareen Maisonier? Probably butchered that. My apologies. But what's going on? Um, yeah. So I mean, I never use that excuse, and I never like to use the excuse of, like, I don't believe in using the excuse of, like, your tools aren't good enough. I don't believe in that. I don't know. It's some kind of religious belief, because I know that a great person would never use, how good their tools are as an excuse. And that's kind of how I was raised. Sometimes you're the guy with the wheelbarrow while everyone else is driving a tractor, and it sucks. The odds are against you, but you got to move the dirt whether they're fucking driving their tractor or not. So, you know, the quicker you can lock in and push the wheelbarrow, the quicker you might be able to work up to getting a tractor. But first, you got to do what you can with the tools you have now. And, there was times where I really had to focus in on that and figure out exactly what that meant for me. And I had to look at the resources I had and do the most with them. So I just say that to, give some good advice out and do the right thing. I think doing the right thing is way more important than a number or anything like that. I think I'd rather do the right thing than do what gets me engagement. The engagement will come. It might be after I die. It could be after I die. And it wouldn't matter, because the engagement's going to come. And eventually all the people who engaged with everybody else will just be clowns to those people. like sometime 1,000 years from now, everyone who cheered for, like, say, Cameron Hauser, if you cheered for Cameron Hauser back in today's time, and 1,000 years down the road, you're gonna be a clown. Like, these people are gonna look at you like clowns. Why? Because the truth outlives all the lies. I mean, the lie can survive today. The lie might survive today, but it's not going to survive time. The truth survives time. What's going on? What's going on, Woe Trey? What's going on, Ollie G? So, and that's why I believe to just tell the truth in the first place. Because if the truth comes out with time, everyone's always saying, get ahead of the curve, get ahead of the curve, right? You want the new iPhone before everyone else does, but you don't want to live in reality before everyone else does. So it's like, just tell the truth. If the truth's going to come out with time anyways, get ahead of the curve, right? And just tell the truth from the jump. And that's I do my best to lead on that. Obviously, there's situations where it's like, it's like that, or I lose a job or something, and those are tough situations. And honestly, I didn't have to be put in those positions, but it's even something I have to work on, and a shortcoming I have is sometimes it's hard to do the right thing, right? And it's just hard to do the right thing, like, but you know, anything interpersonal where it's not like I'm going to lose a job or lose my income over it, I'm honest. I'm honest from the jump. Like, if I'm just going to lose a friend being honest, I'm honest. I'm on it. You know, me lying to keep a friend, it's not worth it. It's not worth it because I know that friend isn't actually connecting with me. They're connecting with the mask I've put on. And that's just not a real person. That's a character. It's the same as like theater, like writing a script. It's a character. It's a character we made in our heads to match how this person wants us to be, but sometimes we can't be living like that, right? Well, all the time we cannot be living like that, and we can't afford to do that. You reject yourself so many times, and yourself's gonna it's gonna realize something's wrong. Especially you just keep doing it. You keep doing it, and just your gut actually starts to turn. Your gut will start to turn. You keep doing the wrong thing so many times, your gut will start to turn, and it'll backfire. Um, and usually it'll backfire on you yourself. You'll backfire on yourself. So yeah, just be truthful from the jump. There's a lot of principles that I really take home. This beard, I always say it, this beard isn't just empty. It's full of wisdom. This beard is full of wisdom, you know. I wouldn't just grow out my beard and pretend to be wise for you guys. I really know things that this world has tried to keep hidden from you. And I really am glad to tell it to you, but I also want to make sure I don't have to say it twice. I want to be at a point where I don't have to say it twice. Because I tried that before. I tried already. I tried to say it twice, and it got tiring. It burns you out. And it sucks being right too. A lot of people don't talk about, like, when you're right, you have to keep showing up and keep trying to convince people. People don't talk about the genuine burden of being correct. But there's a burden of being correct. You have to keep showing up because if you were wrong, it's like, okay, you can put down the sword and stop your fighting. But when you're right, it's like, no, like, you can't put down the sword. You don't have that choice. All of a sudden the choice is no longer there. There's no longer a back down option, because what are you backing down from? There's no lie to back down from. There's nothing incorrect to back down from. So it's actually worse when you know something especially when you're sitting here, you're up against all these people. They have degrees, right? Degrees. A piece of paper that says they're credible is all that is. And never feel, also never feel ashamed to be the underdog. You know, don't be ashamed to be the underdog. Uh, Nothing wrong with being the underdog. People love a good underdog story. So you already have that kind of thing working for you. People really want that underdog story. So if you can poke the crown in the right way and knock it off of the person's head and steal it for yourself, I'm like, more power to you. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to tell you, more power to you. You know, that king's sitting up there and he can order 20 different people to remove you from the room, anyways. All you have is you, a pair of clothes, and you're about to take that crown. I'm clapping for you, dude. I'm cheering you on. Quietly, of course. I don't want the empire to know, but I'm clapping for you. And if I ever diss you, if I ever diss you, it's because I had to be fake around stupid ass empire. Um, but no, I think, yeah. I'll just leave it. I'll leave you guys with that. You know, do the most with the resources you have. Be honest. Um, and right now, there might be situations where we have to put on the two face, but the goal is to eventually not need two faces. Let's not let's not forget about that. Let's not get comfortable with needing two faces in our everyday lives sometimes, just to keep a job and pretend like everything's fine. Let's not get used to that, um, because you guys don't deserve to have to put on a second face. If you guys are honest, that's good. That's good. That should be rewarded. You guys shouldn't be told that that's the wrong thing to do and that you're being too honest. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that, but you shouldn't be told you're being too honest or anything like that, because there's no such thing, you know. The people who get it, and the people who don't, well, they don't. And you're too honest to them and that sucks. But you shouldn't be bending the knee to them. They should be bending the knee to you. They should be working around you. Um, yeah, but that, and people don't have spines anymore. You say the wrong word and they get scared. I mean, it's a word. Yeah, I grew up hearing that actions speak louder than words, and somehow you can sit there and feed a motherfucker, but if you say the wrong thing, all of a sudden they think you want them dead. And it's nuts. It's nuts and it's heartbreaking, but I just learned to deal with it, because at the end of the day, I have the right to say what I want, and you have the right to believe a lie about me. You can believe what you want. You have the right to think that I'm going to hurt you, but I also have the right to say what even prompted that feeling, and I'm going to double down on it. Feel how you want. You know what I mean? Um, because if I treated this world the way it deserved to be treated, then it would really have a reason to feel like that, and I still wouldn't fucking do it. I still wouldn't hurt this world, because at the end of the day, and I'll double down on this too, the only thing I want to do is better this fucking place. I expect more. I expect more out of people. I think people aren't really working to their highest potential. I think some people are. I think some people got it figured out. And but there's other people out there who are just, they just came up, they just came up in the last 6 years. They're making big money. And I just don't know that they got the pants to support it. I'm going to say it. I just don't know that they got the balls to maintain what they've built. And those are easy targets. Mhm. Mhm. In these coming years, those are easy targets, people. When you got someone who's just sheltered by the cash, you know what I mean, sheltered by the cash. You're sitting there getting your hands dirty, right? And there's this person sitting HR firing people left and right like a blazing gun over their words, over their, feelings. And it's like, that person is sheltered by the cash. I tell you what, I'm sitting here, you say this to yourself. You're like, I'm sitting here busting my ass while that person sits on their goddamn office chair, clicking around on that computer. And some people do. They get sheltered by the cash, and they look at hardworking people like you and I, and they don't trust us. They don't trust us enough to eat an Excel sheet. Because, Lord forbid, if we had access to the Excel sheet, who knows where we're routing the numbers to, right? Who knows? We might route them to our own bank account. Who's stopping us, right? But the thing is, we're not stupid. We're not bad people. And it's not our fucking faults that this system is fucking broken and made so many rules. People did mess up at one point. People were fucking up, and there are people who fuck up. But good people like us, we shouldn't be following these stupid ass rules that really just, they say it's to keep us safe, right? And maybe some of them do. Maybe some of them do result in us being safer, but also a lot of them slow us down, right? A lot of them lower the efficiency, and none of us are blind to this. We all know. I mean, the speed limit's an easy one, right? Because if you can get smarter at driving, you go over to Germany, you can drive whatever speed you want on that autobahn. It's completely legal. So tell me why they're able to get, the Autobahn, no speed limit, no rules, right? You drive as fast as you want. Go 300 miles an hour. Start passing people left and right. Tell me why. Well, it's one simple thing. They can control themselves and they can control the vehicle better than the average American can. Better than the average Mexican can. Better than the average European. Better than the average Canadian. Better than the average Asian. So it took more skill. Okay. So the thing is, if you want to close the gap between, rules and freedom, and you want more freedom, less rules, you need more skill and more self-control. That's just it's a very simple thing that this, not just this system, but this world, it's a planetary law. This is planetary law, meaning it's not enforced by borders. It's enforced by the reality of life. So if you want less rules, more freedom, you need more skills and self-control. It's simple. Okay? If you want the bank vault to be unlocked at all times of the day, you have to control yourself enough to not go and rob it. Do with that information what you will, but that's why we're in the position we're in. And we can fool people, you know, and sit there and fool people all the time and tell them, like, hey, these rules are good, but I am someone who does not need all the rules. And I get in my own private land and area where I can work how I want to work without rules, and all of a sudden, everyone's getting stomped out. I don't know how it happened. It's like those rules are just holding you guys back, and I feel bad. I feel bad, and I want to fix it. And that's why I come on here to speak into the void. and to speak to people in hopes that somebody grasps something I'm saying, holds on to it, and does something with it. At the end of the day, we all need to know. We all need to do better. We all need to do the best that we can, um, and really put our best foot forward in this life. Because I've never heard of being overqualified for something. Like, what kind of person is overqualified for a job? You walk up to a motherfucker, you're like, yeah, what do you do for work? Oh man, I'm a garbage man, but I'm overqualified for that position, so I don't know why I'm even working there. And I'm like, what do you mean you're overqualified? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm overqualified. I just, I've been here too long. And I'm like, then get the fuck out. Get a new job. Reality slapping you. Get a new job. And I'm like, it's time to move on, man. It's time for you to move on then. Because there's no such thing in this world as overqualified. There's some boss, there's some manager, there's some company out there. There is some company, and this system makes sure of it. There's some company out there that as soon as you have the experience needed to get into a higher up position, there's a spot open for you. This system was designed. It was thought out through and through. They thought about, well, what if, there's a lot of momentum with, babies booming out. And then, these families, they lose their jobs. How quick are they going to be able to find another one? There's a lot of that kind of shit that went into building this system. That's why, that's why, Rockefeller helped lay that kind of thing down. But you're never going to go without a corporation needing your ass to do something. You may or may not need it, but I'm sure it'll always need you. Yeah, I'll end on that. That was good. Because you expect it to be the other way around. Not here.